In today's video, I'm going to be taking my car. This is an E32 that I recently purchased for a little drive. I'm going to drive it for maybe 15 or 20 minutes, get the fluid in the differential nice and warm so we can drain it, and I'm just going to do a basic drain and fill service in this car. Now I have with me 2 bottles of Redline 75w90, and this is a fully synthetic gear oil for the rear differential. Now, this car, which is an amazing, kind of rare option actually, not kind of rare, it is a really unusual option, is that this car has an LSD, which means limited slip differential. And because of that, you have to use a certain fluid in the rear end. This has limited slip anti-friction additives mixed into it that are specially formulated for this type of diff. I also purchased a new drain and fill plug. This is a 14mm Allen, and you can use a 14mm socket bit, which is what I'll be using today. And then finally, I have this fluid transfer pump, which is, I think, $10 or less online. And this is essential for pumping the new fluid into the differential, and we'll get to that once I get back from a little drive. Here's the Allen key we'll be using for the fill plug. We'll release the fill plug first, just in case for some reason we can't get it undone, loosened. That way we're not stuck with an empty differential. There it goes. As you can see, the fill plug is now loose, and we'll loosen up the drain plug next. Again, here is the drain plug, which faces the passenger side of the car, and if we come around up at the back where the mount is, we can see the hole for the fill plug, or the fill hole, and that's where we're going to feed our plastic tube. And we're going to pump in 2 quarts or 1.9 liters of the limited slip differential fluid into this. And when it's full, it will begin to overflow and seep just over the edge of the bottom of that hole. At that point, we can reinstall the fill plug with the new crush washer, torque it down, and then we're done. Now, to make sure that we don't strip out this drain plug here, I'm going to take a screwdriver and make sure I scrape out any dirt. This one was full of kind of a mud and dirt, and we want to make sure that our Allen key or our socket bit fits this nice and tightly. We don't want it to be in sideways or only partially in there. That way we don't strip it out. And actually, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the color of the fluid is not too bad. Alright, we've just finished pumping into quarts, and as you can see, it's beginning to run out of the fill hole. I'm not sure if you can pick this up on this camera, but now that it's running out, we can reinstall the plug. Now the replacement drain plugs and fill plug that I ordered, this size is much bigger than this factory size here, and so I decided to just clean up the factory one and replace it with a new crush washer. And I'll torque this down to about, I believe it's 51 or 54 foot-pounds of torque, and of course I will put the spec out of the Bentley manual in the description below. And while I'm down here, here's a look at the self-leveling, or LAD, rear suspension. This is the passenger rear strut that appears to be leaking quite heavily. So shout out to Shogun. Have a look at this and let me know what you think. And in the back here you can see, here's the fuel filter, and here is one of the nitrogen accumulators for the LAD suspension setup. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.